Welcome. So I'm going to show you an example of a animal Reiki session here. So I'm out in the backyard here with my boys to kind of show you kind of how you would do a session if you go over to someone's home to do this. So when we work with animals, depending on the type of animals, usually it's going to their place, especially working with cats. But if it's a rabbit or a hamster or a turtle, so it's the invitation where I'm coming down and I'm introducing myself to the animals. I've come in, I've talked to the owner beforehand, the caretaker, rather, because we're on the same level with that. We want to have this mutual respect. And even though having permission from the caretaker, we want the animal to have receive that permission as well. So I have set up my Reiki zone, so to speak. So a kind of a radius around me where I'm bringing in the Reiki. I've brought in this intention for the practice today, asking spirit guides, guardian angels, those that I work with, and I'm letting the animal come to me. So you see that, of course, my little Reiki buddy here is already in my space here. So I have my other boys here around with the invitation that they can come to me, having this open space. So we don't want to kind of force it. And you can see some of the cues here already. He's already starting to lick my palms. And that is kind of an observation that he is accepting of this. And so my other guy is coming over as well, creating this kind of welcoming space. And I just silently, ask them, are you okay? How are you doing? And sometimes I even just talk to them as well. When you're working on the session, you can try to use the chakras, hovering over, maybe even touching if they allow. Totally optional. And you can see he's, nestling his head in there. So he really enjoys it. Uh, you can see my little baby here. He's getting a little bit closer as the Reiki is filling up the space here. So we have the Reiki zones, Reiki trails as I walk through the home, placing the symbol on my feet or symbols on my feet, walking through the home so that the animal has that choice with it. And you see he's letting me kind of, rub him. He's coming over to me. He's laying on my lap here. And, the other dogs are, very close as well. So they're behind the camera here. And even though they're not out in this space, the Reiki will go. I'm bringing in that distance symbol for any other animal in the home here that would like it with this intention of their highest good. Now, sessions can really up to the animal. The animal is the boss with this. Bailey here can go for quite some time. He really enjoys it, and he moves to kind of where he would like the Reiki to go. And you can see he's trying to come up a little bit here. He's coming up in my lap, and he will gently kind of melt into it with the Reiki. How are you? So, listening to these cues, you can hear him. Kind of really getting comfortable, relaxing, sleeping is a good sign here. Kind of almost like he's purring like a cat. Are you purring like a cat today? Huh? And if you have, as an animal communicator, I mean, not every Reiki practitioner has that ability. You can blend that into the practice as well, into the session, if needed, if you have that ability. But you can see him that he's very comfortable, and the other dogs are kind of around in a way. They're looking over. You can signal, would you like to come over, and letting it be their choice. So the other dog is, wagging his tail, maybe deciding if what's what he likes, and he's laying down now. So even laying down is showing, okay, I'm receptive to this. I'm kind of looking at you, and always giving them the choice. And also, too, you see my eyes are open. Safety, safety, safety. Now, I've raised this dog since he was a pup, but anything can change. He could get irritated. A loud noise can happen. Something can startle him. But you want to keep the eyes open. You want it to be safe. You want to dress appropriately. So if I'm going out to a farm or to a stable, I'm not going to wear high heels, right? I'm going to bring things in that are going to be safety. I'm going to wear boots. And so you see my little guy here. This is my youngest. This is my baby here. And I'm hovering over a little bit and see how he's moving. He'll move to where he would like it. There we go. And see, by sitting, that is his consent that he is for this. And this might just be a few seconds, and he might just be done with that. I can move intuitively. I can move with the chakras. I can follow the dog's lead, but all the while away here, keeping my eyes open. Now, if the owner, as if the caretaker, so to speak, is here observing, we could have a very nice conversation, letting the dog go off and play. If the dog brings you a toy and wants to play, that's creating that relationship of trust with the animal here. So just like in a human, if you focus on the chakras, a human, traditionally, 3 to 5 minutes, or as long as you intuitively feel with it, the animal may not need that much. That may not need 3 to 5 minutes. So those are some different ways here. So remember, safety, eyes are open, observation, the animal, and the consent. Even though the caretaker says yes, the dog may not be up for that. And behind the camera here, my other dog is sitting. He's at a few distance. I can maybe wave over to him, maybe tap to show, and leave it up to him. And as you can see, Bentley is already ready for Snoozeville here. This can be done outside if the weather's permittable. This can be done in the home with it. You can develop little packages, just animal Reiki or animal Reiki communication sessions. You can be creative with that. And the caretaker may ask questions like, is the animal happy? Is there something I can do? Is there a favorite treat? And maybe you're able to make that connection. But you can see here the goal is relaxation, ease. And they're sitting here, and I don't even have to touch. So having that distance symbol when you're not physically touching something, that's when you bring in the Hanshase Shonen. And even when you're touching, if you're working with inner work, I mean, I can do inner work back to when he was a puppy. My one dog had a little bit of abuse prior to me receiving him, and bringing that symbol in and doing that inner puppy work for him. And you can see that Bowie had enough. He's going over there, he's laying down, but even though he's in a close proximity to me, he can be accepting of the Reiki as well if he chooses to. So always giving them this choice. And you can see he's already out. So these are some techniques that you can use. Can you use, a Zui Reiki? Of course you can. But it's like anything, if, you like a specialty and go a little bit deeper and you see like something jolted him, a bug flew by and, and I kind of startled him. You okay? You all right? You okay? Having a good day? You having a good day? And Bailey has been, he received a placement of the Animal Reiki. So he was in the training with me. He has received the attunement for Azui, and he has received the placement for Holy Fire. So every type of system of Reiki that I have studied and learned from, he has as well. And he just simply enjoys it. So let me see if my other boy will come over here. Hey, Benson, can you come here? And he's going over to the other dog here. Now he's showing like, what, I'm a little bit finished here. Are we done? Are we done? So now he's interested in going over to the bug. But creating this zone, the Reiki trails, Reiki bubble, I can place the bubble, especially when you're working with fish, you're working with birds. Don't have them trapped. An animal in a cage, like a hamster. You don't want to, I feel the whole thing with Reiki, and that he doesn't, or she doesn't have that opportunity to get out of it. They may not want it. So you want to give them, let me put a little bubble right in here so the fish can go above it, below it, or around it, or choose to just go directly in it and have that option to leave at any time. Same thing with the cage as well. So if you go to a zoo or, always ask that permission, and you'll get a sense of it. It's heart to heart with that. If they have the physical signs, And then complete with the session, either going away, turning away, shaking, definitely. If they're shaking, they're over it. And, even though, he got up because the bug touched him, he's still near me and he's still allowing, my hand on him. And you may have a really super energetic dog that jumps around and jumps on you, but still may enjoy that. So these are a few of the little techniques, just as little reminders here. And with that, when you close the session out, you need to, tell them thank you. Thank you for allowing me to come and be here with you today. So I'm going to disconnect from you and the Reiki is going to flow as long as you need. Okay. And you have a wonderful day. Thank you for working with me. All right. And then I'm going to place that symbol, so that chokore over him. I also use the tree of life symbol with him, the Hansha Se Shonen, the emotional symbol, the Seiheki. Now you see he just shook, so he knew that was done. So he was shaking to say, okay, I gotcha, it's over, and to reset. So that helps the animal, reset that nervous system with it. So thank you so much. I disconnect. I do my dry bathing. Okay. And then I would go in the house, or I would use, soap, hand sanitizer. You want to keep clean. It's also good to kind of wash and clean your hands prior to working with the animal, as well as you're working with turtles or hamsters or rabbits and things like that. But yeah, the whole main goal of this, safety, keep the eyes open, observe the animal, and make sure you absolutely have that consent, because the caretaker may want one thing and the animal may want something completely different. And let your client know ahead of time, I'd love to come over. I want you to know that, this could take minutes. It's probably not going to be a 30 or 40-minute session. It could, but schedule these times like in 30 minutes with that. And within that 30 minutes, you're talking with the caretaker, you're getting this kind of connection to the animal here. If the animal is not kind of respondent to it, you can use one of the meditations, and you can say to the caretaker, hey, let's just do a meditation here if you're open to it. Let's sit down in the chair or lay down on your couch and I'll walk you through it. And then the animal can be around. You can also do this with animals that have passed, holding on to the picture, holding on to the ashes, holding on to the collar or tags with that as well, bringing in that distance symbol, bringing in your tree of life, uh, opening and closing the session the same way, and disconnecting with it. So I hope that gave you a little bit of an example. So my boys are sitting here. Again, they're in this radius, this whole radius here. So they're not on the other side of the wall here. They're not in the house. They're within this space around me. And, I can kind of gauge how far of a circle I want to put around. So I created that Reiki zone. So hope that helps.